Testes. Sorry, just had to test the audio because I just filmed a bunch and there was no sound. So, hello, I am Nibiful. Welcome to the channel. This is my second ever reaction video and my second reaction video to the new Ghost Files series on Watcher. What are you doing? You come say hi. He loves his hoodie. He gets very upset when I take it off. I also do lifestyle content over on TikTok, same username, and here on Shorts. And hopefully I'll be doing some vlogs soon. I know I've said that last time and I haven't done any, but you know. If that or reaction content is your thing, please like and subscribe. I reacted last time to the very first episode of this series with their investigation of Waverly Hills. We're going to follow that up today with their debrief episode where they look at all the evidence gathered on the episode and just generally discuss their experience. So without further ado, let's go! I've even got little ghosties on my cardigan today because I'm such a nerd. Right, let's start this off, shall we?
Coming in the morgue, a full-bodied apparition? Grab a snack and help us unpack all that and more. It's time for the series premiere of Ghost Files Debrief.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, Ryan. Thank you. Hyped.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Bergara.
You're welcome.
That thing over there is my colleague Shane Madej. Shane.
Hello.
Hello.
Here taking a look at our most compelling evidence, behind-the-scenes moments, and answering your.
I am very excited to see some of the evidence from last episode because there's possibly some doozies in there. No, let's possibly skip through this advert. I love that shirt though. I really appreciate that. I don't remember if I said in the last one. I think said I really like the production value. It's a great set and everything like that, but I do really appreciate the kind of aesthetics that they're going for as well. I'm pretty sure I'm around Ryan and Shane's age, maybe a little younger, I'm not sure, but it does give me like very original Ghostbusters, late 70s, early 80s vibes, so I really appreciate that as a, late 80s, early 90s baby myself. Alright, let's skip through. Oh yes. Pause. Alright, sorry about that. My husband just got back from the shop with some vino. Ooh, now I've got a glass of wine, my cozy little blanket, and react to some ghosties. It's a perfect Sunday evening. It really is. Annoyed. Just having to re-record a bunch because the microphone decided to stop working. So, alright, let's go back. No more whining. We're done now. Series premiere. What a premiere it was.
Glad it's out there.
Me too.
Me three.
I didn't try to leak it.
Your office chair.
That was one time.
Yeah.
That's one time.
But now it's out there. People are loving it.
Yeah, and look, I'm just.
We are.
You guys
We truly are.
see it. Everyone here at Watcher is really proud of it. I haven't surveyed each of them individually.
It would be great for working for a company like Watcher, I think. That would be creative,
I will
fun.
be scheduling one-on-ones soon. So if you're watching this, employees of Watcher, keep that in mind. But happy you guys all saw it. I'm gonna really enjoy watching all of the comments and the feedback over the weekend.
Speaking of the premiere, we got quite a bit of evidence.
Evidence.
Let's take a look at some of that.
The evidence.
We got a lot of evidence.
I mean, I am with Shane on some of that evidence. A lot of it very compelling. Some of it,
Of debrief evidence.
me. Mostly the evidence they brought in from outside investigators was a bit questionable.
Take it away.
See this timing of that,
Are you hearing that?
quite compelling, I think.
Are you hearing that?
And it sounds very similar to the humming that somebody brought in as outside evidence from one of the watchers of Watcher, the viewers.
Tell you what.
I'm interested to see if they possibly went around afterwards and were like trying to find a source of something that could cause that type of noise, to be honest, because it's simultaneously compelling and not compelling that the exact same noise happens in that room all the time, if you know what I mean. Compelling is in, oh, you know, it's possibly, you know, a ghost that haunts that room that makes that same noise, seemingly on command. Or is it just an old rusty door hinge? Because that sounds like it could be something like that. You know, the really old heavy door hinges that kind of make that groaning sort of noise. I'd be looking around. I'd be looking around for something like that. Well, let's see. Let's see what they say.
That's a hum, folks.
That's a hum.
Many times throughout this series where Rhyme is so locked in his own fear, your fear cage, that I had to point out moments to you, which I'm trying to do as a, you know, I think I want to preserve a little bit of your fear this time. So I've seen some people in the
Interesting.
This is not me just saying, I swear, I still don't believe in ghosts. I've seen a lot of people who say, well, even Shane was scared by those things. I wasn't, because I don't believe in ghosts. But I mean,
you say it in the app. You do say, like, if I were to believe in ghosts, I would certainly be scared by that right now.
Exactly right.
That's very true.
And I would be if I believed in ghosts, but I don't.
Alas, you don't.
Unfortunately, I don't.
But when I'm stuck in my fear funnel, it is helpful.
It's nice to point it out to you and let
Yeah,
you
it does seem
hear
to
me
be
without doing like a little,
lot more cooperative, or I don't know. I guess
will say
it's
that I did hear the first time. I didn't hear the second.
trying for entertainment value as far as Shane goes, I suppose.
It was smaller. It was like,
Yeah, the first one's like, and the second one's like,
that lady makes when she drops the heart off the Titanic. Maybe it was that lady.
Could have been her. She probably got tuberculosis.
I would love to hear what you do think it is.
You know, it's the thing about Waverly. Last time we were there, and this time too.
Talk. Just let me pause this for a sec.
Old building.
Maybe it was that lady.
Could have been her. She probably got tuberculosis.
I would love to hear what you do think it is.
You know, it's the thing about Waverly. Last time we were there, and this time too. So all the windows are open. It's a big creaky old.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Exactly.
Classic. Everyone loves that old Unsolved.
I mean, there's 1,000 things it could be.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing.
That hum anywhere else in the investigation, and it was in the moment when we asked for something to hum.
Yeah.
And it's in a place where people have also heard humming that sounded like that hum.
I know. It was great. It was baller to get that in the first room.
Yeah.
In the first episode.
See, that's why. Sammy! Oh, well. Gives me time to have another sip of wine. What it's like to own a chihuahua. But yeah. So, as I was saying, I mean, that's kind of the duality of this particular piece of evidence for me, I think, is there is a convincing argument for either side whether or not it could or could not be some form of haunting. I think I would be a lot more convinced if they said, oh, yeah, well, we went around and we tested these doors and we looked for something and we didn't find anything, but meh. Let's keep watching.
That is crazy.
You'll see, I'm sure there's other episodes this season where we don't get as much evidence. It was very fortuitous that this was our series premiere, and it was an absolute banger.
It was. I think that's the term I used as well, banger.
So sometimes that's not a lot, and you might see that pop up throughout the season. But this first episode, certified banger.
Certified banger.
Let's move to our next
Agreed.
piece of evidence. We have the dog bone REM pod session.
An ad.
Can you tell us what happened to you? How about this? Oh, Jesus. Whoa, what's going on? Is that you by the pod? Step away from it if it's you. Oh, shit.
See this?
Okay, if that was you again, could you please step back towards the bone, please? Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! Step away now? Can you step away now, please?
Step away from the bone.
That's a good doggo.
Responses here.
See that? I like a lot more because, again, I don't know enough about the science behind it specifically, but to me, because it was several kind of sequential incidences of it, supposedly, of it kind of reacting to a request, you know, what somebody was saying. But I find it a lot more convincing than the humming just because, I don't know, maybe just because of my own ignorance, because I don't know enough about REM pods and how they work and stuff like that. But I think it's cool. I like it.
Get that response from a new piece of tech.
Yeah.
The thing is, with these kind of devices, you're always looking for things to be timely and respond in a way that seems intelligent. In this particular case,
It's doing it.
I felt like that was very much something that was convincing that I was talking to something. And they
Cool.
were capable.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the REM pod because I like the fact that you could demonstrate how it works with a human, showing them kind of break that field.
So do you legitimately think the REM pod was a ghost of a dog?
A Poochie. A very good doggo.
Maybe a person crawling around on the ground.
I think
all
it's.
fours
I
doing
think,
something like-
no, I don't think they need to be calling on the dog to make the REM pod go off. I think it was the guy who fell down the shaft with the dog.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the dog
Shaft
is like saying, like hearing me say,
Shaft.
step towards that if you understand, yes. And the dog's like,
I
step away.
disagree, Ryan.
He's not doing
I
that.
think it was a very good doggo.
Bloodhound too, big
That's
floppy
cool.
ears.
Yeah, the REM pod, it's interesting. It's a fun toy for folks like you, with the
Yeah.
cracks in your brain.
When somebody is getting near.
That's definitely me.
Yeah, it's cool.
When they're
It's
not.
fun.
I know. It's.
Yeah, and there are other locations where you use it throughout the season where absolutely nothing happens.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's nice. Fun
think-
little toy for you to lose your mind.
I forgot this is the show where my blood boils. It's the Ghost Files Hero episode, the one you just saw. That's the one where we're kind of cordial. It's in this show where the gloves really come off.
Yeah, I'll still be doing this over here. I'm a little more respectful on Ghost Files just for the sake of having a good time. But
For sure.
I'll still be insufferable over here.
That's good to know.
What else we got?
Let's move on to the Estes Spirit Box session. There's a moment, and this is kind of what was.
This one, just for entertainment value, was definitely my favorite method.
And actually react to everything that happened. And this is one of those instances. I'm over there. I'm saying the things that I'm hearing. I can't hear any of the questions that Shane is asking. I believe I say, "What is that?" You know what? Let's just show the clip.
Yeah. I can't really remember what happened in this, to be honest.
This is an
Oh,
Osmo.
right.
It's sort of like a gimbal box. Yeah, sorry, my Osmo is. What the fuck are you doing, Osmo?
You can see in the clip, I say,
Yeah.
"What is that?" And then Shane goes, "Oh, Osmo," and then it says "box," which is like what the Osmo kind.
Yeah. I did notice this. And it's very coincidental timing, if it is a coincidence. It is, again, that kind of sequence of events that seem to line up. It's not just one thing, it's like 3 or 4 things in a row that are all, I don't know, all seeming to be in relation to what's happening at the time. Wine burps, sorry. Yeah, but this is the type of evidence that I am more convinced by, because it's not just one eerie sort of picture with some like vaguely human shaped blobs that could be dust, it could be anything, it could be just pixelation. This was like a sequence of 3 or 4 things, all kind of relevant to exactly what was happening at the moment, and then on 2 different devices as well, because his Osmo malfunctioned at pretty much the same time that it mentioned something that could have been the Osmo itself. So anyway, enough of my rambling, let's start again.
Kind of looks like, and then the Osmo fails, which is just like a really cool moment that
Yeah,
I couldn't
I
see
thought
that
so.
hear you, so like there's no way I would be able to point that out.
That's true.
Even in watching the edit, it didn't occur to me, and it was actually Mark, our director, who was like, "That's a little weird that it says box."
Yeah.
And then it shuts off after getting a response. I thought that was pretty cool.
In defense of other things, the Osmos, those things are garbage. They fail all the time. You don't use it after episode 1, right?
It does call it box though.
There's countless behind the scenes of us on Unsolved of me going, "Come on, you little piece of shit."
Yeah, but I mean,
That's fair enough. You know what? That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm not.
but also, you're saying you're not using it after episode 1. Is it because that particular location was fairly haunted and there was a ghost following around that was fixated on that because it could get that sort of manipulated potentially? I don't know. Could go either way, in my humble opinion.
Also, I gotta say, love the Estes method. I know
great.
a lot of people were very excited for us.
Yeah, it's for sure my favorite.
My life doing it, we do it.
Right, so I just watched a little back, and the sound levels are really off, so hopefully this is a little bit better. Seems to be a bit better. Let's keep watching.
Several times throughout the season, always a blast.
No, it's a way for I guess you said it in the episode, for it to be tolerable.
I think we both kind of tried different flavors throughout the season. In this first one, I was going really aggressive because I really couldn't hear anything. So I was
They
trying to
definitely
project.
were.
Later in the season, I take more of a sort of calming approach and just kind of close my eyes and just gently deliver the words. So you'll see a nice spectrum.
No, yeah, I'm sure people.
We love a spectrum.
That.
Is this the kind of show we're going to be doing here with this kind of sass?
I didn't think there was anything there.
Sounded like
Shane really sat there talking about sass. Really.
Well, let's move on to Timmy's
Of all
balls.
people.
Roll the clip.
Here we go.
The balls.
Season premiere.
What are you doing? All right, now that's what I'm talking about.
All right, Timmy. I'd love for you to send that back. Should we go find the ball?
Yeah, I think we ought to.
Where did that ball go? Timmy,
Tim,
here's the white ball,
they're right next to each
and
other.
here's the blue ball.
Blue
Now-
ball?
If anything, now I'm really
White ball.
impressed that we got the ball to land.
Yeah, really nice. It looks like they're little prizes for us.
As you can see from that clip, this is something that I, for whatever reason, didn't react to on
Yeah.
location. Shane even points it out, saying like, "Oh, they landed."
Yeah, for sure. I did think that was a little bit. I think again, it comes back to what Shane was saying earlier in the episode of him having to point out little things just because he was so nervous. Bless him. So yeah, his little fear cage. I relate, Ryan. I block out 95% of things and don't react until later in the day. I kind of realize what anxiety is a bitch. She says, chugging her wine.
right next to each other.
So many things it pointed out.
I'm telling you, I was in the fear funnel.
I know. It's actually funny because, and we'll talk about the balls in just a second, but
We always do.
I feel like even when we left, by the time the first edits of that episode came in months later, like when I saw the hum footage, I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that happened. Like we left there being like, it seemed like a pretty good episode. Like not even registering all the things that
Yeah.
I think it was one of those.
I think that is sometimes what happens though when you're doing something like this. Obviously, was the first episode they did for I think it was a couple of years. By the time they will have stopped at Buzzfeed, if you're getting back into something more focused on the ins and outs, the practicalities, making sure you're being entertaining enough, I'm sure, and stuff like that, rather than be able to focus on what's actually happening in the moment. So I can definitely see that happening.
Things where so many pieces of evidence were occurring live that we weren't really used to that.
Yeah,
So,
that's true
I don't
as
think
well.
we've been in a building that was that active before, honestly. So it was just kind of hard to, I guess, react to all of it. But I will say, after looking at it, I was like, how the hell did I not react to the fact that I kick a ball down the hallway, and then I throw a ball, which you see as hard as I can, and the two balls land directly next to each other.
Somehow I missed that. I thought one of the balls was already there and he kicked it, and then so yeah, that's a lot. That's definitely a lot more interesting. Yeah, I don't know why. For some reason, I thought that like the white ball was already there and it just landed next to it by happenstance. But now that they both landed in, side by side, pretty much in the center of each door frame, that's pretty cool, actually. Ooh, spooky.
Each other, centered perfectly in adjacent doorways. That's almost as crazy as the ball landing under my name. And when you couple that with the fact that you hear noises coming from down the hallway
Yeah.
before we go to find the balls, it's pretty fucking creepy. I'm sure people will talk about it in the comments. I don't know, because we're filming this an hour and a half after the episode has aired. Do you think it's more than coincidence that those balls were next to each other?
No, I don't.
You don't think that someone placed them there?
Of course he doesn't.
Why
It's
would you even ask me that?
Shane. Of course he doesn't.
I thought maybe
So
you'd be like, yeah, I do.
the shuffling was like the ghost being like,
Shane is the type of person that a spectre could literally come up and strangle him. And, you know, spit in his face, ectoplasm, and he would just be like, no, I guess it's time for me to check myself into the mental hospital because I'm obviously crazy. You know, there's no such thing as ghosts. But, I mean, you're solid in your beliefs. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to believe in what I believe. You do you, Shame Day. You do you.
Oh shit, they're coming. What's scary? What these balls?
I think, what if he was like this? Oh, shit. Okay, where's the Ryan? Where's the Ryan on the wall?
Yeah.
You know what?
Oh, not near him. Do that. Yeah. Wait, why is the ghost hiding? Isn't it translucent?
Oh, yeah, he just does this. He just goes,
Oh,
he just goes in translucent mode,
I
you
like
know?
that. No, I am always kind of weirded out when people, like even your name or the ball under your name moment.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. It's just, you know, more likely that a ball would roll somewhere than, you know, ghosts.
I just think it's just interesting that the two
very
times we've done the ball toss there, strange things have happened both times. You don't think
Yeah.
that's a little strange?
That's great. It's great for content.
It's
you
good
know?
tube.
It's good too.
It's good tube.
Fair.
That is for sure.
I am a
It is
tube.
great tube.
That's true.
A tube.
Let's move on to this is probably what a lot of people are going to be talking about. The Shane Solo apparition. Is it an apparition? Is it not? Let's watch the clip.
Yes. This is the one I was waiting for.
Kind of the way of the world. But, you know, now we're doing our own thing on Watcher, so that's pretty fun. So I guess it's kind of a mixed bag. Do you want to play? Y'all want to play a fucking game? You little punk?
Now, there's a crazy story behind this. We had this episode done months
Right.
ago.
Yeah,
I'm just going to wind that back and watch it again.
It's kind of a mixed bag. Do you want to play?
So it's over his shoulder there, isn't it?
Y'all want to play a fucking game? You little punk?
I'll have to see if they enhance
Now,
it because
there's a crazy story behind
now
this.
watching it, it does
had-
just kind of seem like a window or something in that room. But we'll see.
We had this episode done months ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. And
The night before, we were just doing a routine kind of quality control check over the episode to make sure things were good to go for the premiere.
well, I want to say even before that.
Oh, yeah.
So I went on that investigation. I came down and I tried to tell you, and it was very difficult to do because I've done this on almost every solo investigation. After I'm done, I usually try and seriously make you understand, and I'm always lying, that I saw something, that I heard something.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan, I'm not kidding. There was something up there. So when I genuinely did hear something, which, again, to me, that place is full of open windows.
Can you describe what you heard?
Honestly, I don't remember. It was enough to make me go like, oh, it was a noise.
Oh, which, by the way, actually, we do, before you get into that, we do have a clip of some of the noises that you did hear. They may be your footsteps, but one in particular is kind of like a louder thump, may once again be your footstep, but you seem to react to it in your face kind of like a...
Maybe that's it.
And-
I
and-
honestly don't remember the moment.
And the thing is...
But take a look.
You have 10 minutes to
And
finish.
see. That's a pretty solid
That's
thump.
actually what got me to find the figure.
I
Okay,
see, that's a
so
pretty solid thump.
we went on it. I tried to tell you it happened.
Again,
and
it could
then we
be-
looked through the footage and like.
Could be a falling piece of plaster. Could be something like that. But it did sound like a very heavy boot, didn't it? So, let's
I
see.
couldn't really find anything. And then the night before.
The night before, I had not personally scrubbed through that Shane Solo investigation. And I don't know what possessed me to think, you know what, this is a good time to just take that upon myself and look. And so I found some noises, and I was like, oh, that's weird. That's not enough to put in the episode, honestly, so I don't think that's that. But I was like, you know what, I'll just scrub through it frame by frame to see if I see something in this particular section, because there was noises. And sure enough, you see that little kind of white cloud-ish looking thing go right behind Shane. It moves behind him, and the where it moves is the doorway where you see the figure. You can watch it all in slow motion, goes behind him, then he turns around, you see that thing, if you want to call it that, I believe it's a thing, a figure, standing.
See, you can see a face-ish. That looks face-esque. An eye, mouth, nose, or eye, nose, mouth. Let's look.
That little kind of white cloud-ish looking thing go right behind.
Yeah, there was a. Let's watch that.
Because there was noises, and sure enough, you see that little kind of white cloud-ish looking thing go right behind Shane.
Ah, no. I think that's kind of a freeze frame of it.
Moves behind him, and the where it moves is the doorway where you see the figure.
I may be wrong, but I'm going to look at something. Just bear with me. Right, we're going to re-watch this clip here.
Is it not? Let's watch the clip.
A little better, on account of the way of the world. But, now we're doing our own thing on Watcher, so that's...
So there is something there. This is before the white cloud. There's something there. But I don't think that's at the same area it is when it really shows up. So let's see.
It's pretty fun. So I guess it's kind of...
No, it was... Am I wrong? Is that not the same doorway?
Play?
Right, so there's the white cloud. And there was something there again.
Y'all want to play a
And there was it. That's the same doorway, isn't it? There was something there before.
fucking...
Maybe these are different doorways. There seems to be something there. But it does, if it's the same doorway, I can't tell if he's walking around because the hallway itself is so dark. I can't tell if it's the same doorway. It looks to be the same doorway. But it's just kind of moving and shifting around at different places in the hall. And there's kind of a... I'm a bit disappointed by that, actually. I could be totally wrong. That could be an entirely different doorway. But there's something, there's kind of something there throughout different angles. I don't know. There's one again.
World, but
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to watch.
Now we're doing our own thing on
There's something-
Watcher, so that's pretty fun.
There's
So
something there. Something there.
Do you want to play?
Something
Y'all want to
there.
play a
Something
fucking
there.
game? You little punk?
See, I can't tell if that's the same doorway he keeps moving past or if he's just walking down the hallway. It's a bit hard to tell. But yeah, you definitely can't see that like cloud of smoke or orb or whatever it is going behind him. But it does look like if that's the same doorway, it does look like there's something there before that happens. I don't know. Could be a different doorway. I don't know the layout. I will take their word for it. Let's watch it a little bit more.
That's it.
Your face kind of like... It's kind of like a louder thump.
Mm-hmm.
It may once again be your footstep, but you seem to react to it in your face kind of like a...
The
Maybe
noise
that's it.
is definitely
I
there.
honestly don't remember the
There's
moment.
like two
thing
noises.
is-
Oh,
was...
Wait, take a look.
See there?
That's actually what got me to find the figure.
Okay, so
There was
we
something
went
in
on
the
it.
door
I tried
behind.
to tell you it happened, and then
Am I just
we looked through the
misunderstanding this
footage
again?
And, like, couldn't really find anything.
I think
and
I might be
then
misunderstanding
the night
it.
before.
The night before, I had not personally scrubbed through that Shane solo investigation, and I don't know what possessed me to think, you know what, this is a good time to just take that upon myself and look. And so I found some noises, and I was like, oh, that's weird. That's not enough to put in the episode, honestly, so I don't think that's that. But I was like, you know what, I'll just scrub through it frame by frame to see if I see something in this particular section, because there was noises. And sure enough, you see that little kind of white cloud-ish looking thing go right behind Shane. It moves behind him, and the where it moves is the doorway where you see the figure. You can watch it all in slow motion. Goes behind him, then he turns around. You see that thing.
I'm less compelled by this figure now. Oh, I hate to say that. I really hate to say that because it did look really spooky in the original episode. But pretty much every doorway he's passing by has like some sort of glimmer in it, whether or not it be a window or reflections off of something in the room. Pretty much every doorway it passes has something like that in it, and yeah, the noise, yeah, there's several noises. They do sound like footsteps, and the little puff of smoke, yes, but this figure. I'm being a party pooper again. I'm being a real party pooper on this one, guys. I wanted to believe. I was really stoked about that when I was first watching it, but every doorway he passes by has some sort of like shape in it. It seems like a light. Well, as I say, whether or not it be a window or some sort of object that's reflecting light in the room, but not as convinced by the figure, but the other things are still pretty cool.
If you want to call it that, I believe it's a thing, a figure, standing in the doorway. And then right after that figure is seen, Shane hears the little bump, and then he reacts. That's like the timeline. It all happens within about 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was really crazy, man.
Kidding me?
Well, I came in the next morning, and you and our post supervisor Sam
Poor Ryan.
were both. I mean, Sam was like, Shane, I need your skepticism. You got to make me feel okay about this. I'm gonna throw up right now. And you were very excited, and I was.
Lizzie was excited too. Lizzie, our producer, was very excited.
I was excited to see the clip, and I watched it, and I was like, "Well, I'm glad you guys are excited about it."
Either way,
because it looks like absolute nonsense.
I found the evidence.
I
put
wouldn't
it
say.
into the
I
episode,
wouldn't say.
you know,
It looks like nonsense because the still frame of it does have a face-esque shape to it. It does. Combined with everything else, it may be, like I said, a sequence of events like the Dogbone REM pod or the Osmo Estes method. But I don't know, like, every door frame seems to have some sort of similar, it looks like reflections of something or a window or something similar in every single door frame that he passes by. So I'm being a party pooper. I'm pooping on this party officially.
The premiere in LA, which by the way, we are doing premieres of episodes.
I did hear that.
This season.
No.
Ghost Files Live. If you haven't heard about that, get your ticket.
A lot of the cities are already
a couple
sold
of
out, but
episodes.
That's true. Check out. Here's
That would
the
be
dates.
really
Go check them.
sweet.
Check them out.
I would have loved to see
Everyone
that.
in the theater seemed to react in a way that it looked like.
That's great. Though I've seen some comments already on YouTube who are like, I don't know what that was all about. I genuinely can't figure out, like, I know that you're spooked by the whatever's in the doorway. I don't know.
It looks like a face to me.
I don't
It does.
see a face there
In
at
fact,
all.
it looks so much like a face. You could see the two glints, which look like kind of lights.
Glints?
There looks like I have two eyeballs because there's two. And then when the face turns,
It doesn't look that much like a face.
the lights go away, which is what happens when you turn away.
The face
with
didn't
your head.
turn,
There's the light
Shane.
reflecting off your eyes.
This could be a kitty cat man, right?
Or just a normal man.
Well, normal man wouldn't have glowing eyes.
No, but it wasn't glowing. It was more like
Could it have been the
Reflections.
creeper?
it's called eye light. Shane. It could be the creeper. I don't know.
Could be the creeper.
Well, what do you guys think? I mean, you could see us bicker all day. Let us know in the comments if you disagree.
What did you
agree.
find most compelling? You know, what other moment did we miss something? Huh? Let us know.
Let us know if you think Shane has pebbles for brains and can't see evidence when it's kicking him right in the face.
Yeah, I
And,
do
let
still
me
think
know if you think
one thing that they potentially missed was, I think it was in the morgue. Yeah, still in the morgue. When they turned on the spirit box, I still think it sounded like it said Shane. I still think it did. But, yeah. I'm still thinking about that. Was it a figure? I still don't think it was. I want to believe. Look at his little face. I'll believe it was a figure just for Ryan.
I'm the greatest investigator who ever lived.
True.
Those are the two options.
I mean, I'm sure there's others, but those are the ones that come top of mind.
All right. Well, onward.
All right, enough of
Onward
that.
and
Let's
upward.
move on to our next segment, cutting room floor. This is a segment where we show you things that didn't make it into the episode, but we wish did make it into the episode.
Interesting.
And today we have a very fun clip for you guys from Katie Deal. Actually, she's one of the audience investigators who sent us a clip of evidence. It did not make it into the show because it was in the same location as another piece of evidence, but we could show it to you now, and we'll let Katie take it away.
I was on the 5th floor in front of room
I love her
502
style.
when I suddenly felt like
So
somebody was walking
fashionable.
behind a doorway.
You're an
my
icon,
camera hadn't
Katie.
been working all day, but I decided to try and snap a quick photo. And when I looked at the photo I had taken, there was a face.
I wonder what that what evidence do they put in instead of, what evidence did they put in instead of that? I mean, I feel like that's a much more compelling photo than a couple of them put in there. For me, I feel like it's a lot more compelling when you can almost see through something, because I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it looks more like a cartoonish ghost. But I feel like a lot of the times when you hear people talk about apparitions that they see in real life with their naked eye, that you can see through it. So that for me, I don't know. What else did they put in here instead of this? I'm really glad they put it in the debrief, because I think that's a good photo though, actually.
There were no windows, no mirrors, no lights, and no people around that could have caused it. So the only explanation is a ghost.
I wouldn't say the
Create
only
that
explanation,
photo.
Katie. I wouldn't say the only explanation, but
Didn't nail it.
How about this? First off, thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Katie, for sending in
Icon,
the evidence.
Katie.
Thank you for recording the
Fashionista,
intro.
Katie.
I liked that evidence more than the other one where they were, you know, what year? I don't know what year they recorded it in. It sounded like 1962 with the quality of the audio recorder. But
that
we
was
were
a
like,
bit sus,
Is there
that
anyone
audio
here?
recording.
Yes, there's somebody here. And I'm not here to call anybody liar.
See, that's what I'm saying, Shane. I'm not here to call you a liar, but whatever your motivations, not saying you're a horrible person, but that was a bit sus. It was a bit sus. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'll say no more on the subject. Come on.
Liars.
Just indirectly.
I'm not gonna
Just
call people charlatans within the episodes. So we're trusting the people who submit these things.
You're
Yeah.
indirectly saying it right now.
I am not.
Here's what
I
I
am
think.
not. I
Here's-
believe they believe that what
boy.
they're submitting is a ghost.
Here comes
and,
the Shane pull string doll again. I
and
believe
I-
you believe. I believe you believe.
and I believe in some of those more than others. And if you out there are considering sending in evidence for future episodes, use an iPhone. Or, you know, any piece of technology post 1992.
I will
Yeah.
say this. This is the last thing I'll say about this in regards to this little quandary.
Say
you
your
have
piece.
here. I believe that.
I believe.
Here's what I believe.
Hey.
Okay. Hey, here's what I believe. When it
what you
comes to
talk
evidence,
about?
all these
Forget
skeptics
about
are
it.
always like, show me something that's very clear, undeniable, and then when they get it, their first response is always, well, that's fake.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I said when I was watching it the first time. It's exactly what I said, I'm pretty sure. Not like word for word, but I think I said something along the lines of like, we're always wanting something that's very clear, and then when you get something that's like clear as hell, undeniable, what it is, then you're like, that's a bit too... Yeah, so I agree with Ryan there. I do.
So what do you want?
Alrighty,
I
Peter.
don't understand what you want. Like, this is such a clear voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I just don't trust a lot of these people. I don't.
Oh.
Most skeptics don't.
Unbelievable.
Sorry.
So basically what you're saying is if they send us the evidence, if we could replicate that in
If
the
we
same
can
way,
replicate it, I'd be thrilled.
then you owe an apology.
Then I will owe an apology, yeah.
And you'll get on your knees and apologize and crawl around in a little apology circle.
Yeah. No, I mean, it would, I will do that. I'll crawl around in a little apology
I'm
circle.
sorry. Sorry. It's so dirty down here. Please accept
Just
it.
now. Alright, the dog has stopped barking now. Little Pooch. He's the protector of the house a little bit more than he needs to be, but I have a particular fear of B&Es, so I'm very glad to have a dog that is hyper vigilant, really. It gets annoying at times, not gonna lie, but I now never have to worry about waking up at 2 a.m. and having some like crazy person hovering above me with a knife. It was broken in the house, unbeknownst to myself, because the dog will always hear it before I do.
Hey,
Okay, moving it right along to our last and final section, Qua.
Quah!
Q&A. I think it's just Q&A.
This is where we answer questions directly from you guys, the viewers at home, including 2 questions exclusively from Patreon.
Yeah, I'll plug it. Hey, head on over to patreon.com/watcher. And better chance you'll get your question picked.
Get your bag,
You'll get
son.
early releases of episodes a whole day early. And
Get your bag, sir.
commentaries throughout the season. And these
that
are
sounds
hour-long
great.
episodes. This is a lot of
Where
commentary.
can I sign up for that?
Patreon.com/watcher, my
Wait,
dear
isn't
friend.
that it right there?
Oh,
that's
they're
it
doing
right
their
there.
own
Wow.
commentary. Interesting.
Now, let's answer some questions.
Look, here, I'll toss you a little softball here, Shane. This comes from Patreon. This is from Lentils36. For Shane, do you actually take any of these tools seriously as a form of getting evidence? As a Shaniac, they seem fun and totally add to the episode, but don't seem to add much in terms of scientific proof.
They do add a lot of fun to the episode, but it's all
Look
pseudoscience
at
bullshit,
Ryan
so
there.
there's no scientific
Pure.
value or merit to any of them.
Just, I don't want to say hatred, but
That's true. There
I
is
was
no.
just giving- I
He
was
looks
giving
pretty
Lentils
pissed.
a long, hard stare.
yeah.
Oh, that's good. Thanks, Lentils.
Let's hear you talk about the questions now.
I do agree. I do agree
Oh,
to
here's
some
from
to some
Kate
degree.
Kirsten 8. Thanks for your support. Will you guys be having guests or other Watcher casts hunt with you?
So far this season, we did not have anybody hunt with us, but we did have a guest who came to show their evidence because they did their own paranormal investigation, and you'll see that later in the season. Our buddy Garrett Watts
Oh,
will come on to the
Garrett.
show, and a delightful man.
He's
you
so
may have
cute.
seen him on Puppet History if you are a fan
I
of
love
Watcher
Puppet
content.
History.
He was a guest on that show as well.
That's right.
I'm very
I
excited
don't
for
know
that to
Do you
come
even
back.
watch Puppet History?
Oh my
I've heard it's
goodness.
good. I executive produce it.
That's
I heard there was some
true.
some drama last season. I wouldn't say we're ruling it out for the future. It's just it's tough to probably bring someone along for a ghost hunt. Someone like Garrett would obviously be great because he's done it. He's a colleague in the field.
Yeah,
And he's
also a fellow
entertaining.
tall boy.
Oh yes.
Very tall man.
Fellow in the sense that he's a fellow tall boy to you.
Let's hit some other questions. There you go. There's the iPad for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's move on over to
Tube
TubeTown.
Town.
Tube down.
That's YouTube for all of you who don't know, and we're gonna grab a question from there.
TT.
It's gonna TT. Qua TT.
Quantity.
Qua TT.
TT qua.
TT Qua. Look, we've been up a long time getting the premiere ready. We're a little loopy
I'm
right
so
now.
tired today.
Okay, here we go. This is a really good question, and I'd like to clear it up. This comes from Jesse Planter. There's a little leaf emoji, and they say, how much of this is acting? Some of the recorded submissions feel scripted/staged. Is there any truth to that, or am I being overly analytical?
I didn't really
Now,
get
I
that
will say this.
sense.
I could
To be honest, it's video submission to a pretty famous YouTube channel. If it seems scripted, it probably is, because you wouldn't want to just do that off the cuff, would you? You'd probably write yourself a little thing. You'd rehearse it a little bit. It's like, it's essentially a TV show, like modern day TV. Yeah, anyway.
see why you would maybe think that. First off, obviously we're not acting. But in terms of the audience submissions, when it comes to the evidence, we asked them to explain the evidence,
Yeah,
and we
exactly.
asked them to do it
Keep
under
on
certain parameters. Make
smashing
sure you
this
explain the
microphone.
evidence in under 30 seconds. Make sure you say what happened. Make sure you give a lead into what happened maybe before, and then what could lead into the clip. So it was kind of in a way where people would have to literally write down what they were going to say so they could get it
Yeah,
under 30
exactly.
seconds so that we could
Exactly.
use it in the episode. Kind of in the weeds there. In that sense, it doesn't come off maybe the most conversational.
Hmm.
And you also have to remember that these perhaps are some folks that don't make a living talking to a camera like me and this idiot.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah, you do have to be kind of quite versed in this type of thing to make it very conversational. You can't just be, I mean, there are some people that are natural on camera, but, you know, I think you need to have a lot of experience in it to be, I guess, conversational, as you were saying, but I totally agree.
Yeah.
So you can't fault them for that.
No.
All the submissions are genuine, though. They're regardless of the quality of the evidence.
Quality.
The
quality
of the evidence.
You're really fondling that evidence.
They assure us that what they are submitting is genuine and that their stories are true from their experience. Not
that is
everybody can ham it up like we can.
That being said, I will say that that is a valid question, and I'm glad you asked it because I wanted to clear that up.
Yeah.
This comes from Christy Carnes. They say, for the debrief, is it still Shaniacs, Shitfish, and Bugaras, or will there be new nicknames for skeptics, fence straddlers, and believers? I will say this. For skeptics, it's still going to be Shaniacs. For believers, still going to be Bugaras. And for fence straddlers, that's no longer going to be Shitfish. It's going to be Cowards.
Cowards.
You
Aww.
gotta pick a side. You
really do have to pick a side.
Yeah, you
No,
know, those are our people.
I refuse.
They're our people. You're on.
And get off.
That's just rude. Oh, my nose is itchy. I feel like I'm far too Canadian to pick a side. I want to be nice to everyone. I'm not a coward. I'm just a nice person.
Off the fence. That's not even a comfortable place to sit. You're sitting there
Sure
with
it
going up your
is.
ass crack. That's not comfortable.
the-
I guess you could be sitting like
Some
this.
of us
in which
like that.
case
No.
you would be more on one side naturally, but I'm assuming you're sitting crack in the middle,
On a picket.
kind of, so you put yourself kind of symmetrically.
Yeah, not ideal.
If you want to be
That
proper.
doesn't sound very comfortable.
There's a lot
Even
of
if you're
people
into that
who
kind of thing.
sometimes will tell us,
Picket fences.
Kind of in between, and I think I've probably cut more people loose than you have. But if I hear that from someone who says, "Well, I'm mostly a Shaniac, but sometimes I'm like, well, then you're not. You're out. You're done. You're out of here."
Rude. I feel personally attacked. I do. I'm sorry. I gotta scratch my nose. Just bear with me. I feel personally attacked by this. Personally attacked.
True.
Get packing. Hit the road.
And I think as long as you kind of believe.
And he needs the numbers, so
That's not true. That's not true. You saw all the evidence in this episode.
he needs the numbers.
You can't just point at me and smirk and say he needs the numbers and make
needs
it
the
seem
numbers,
like
folks.
fact.
All
And you know
right.
what? Maybe I'm just more inclusive.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I do believe. Because like I said in the last episode, I've had my own experiences. For the most part, I do believe. I also do kind of think I'm losing my mind sometimes, but I think some of our brains can play tricks on us at times. But I'd say, yeah, at the core of me, I'm more a believer who tries to rationalize things. Okay, so I guess I'm a Bugara. If you put it that way, yes, I guess I'm a Bugara. I do have belief. I believe.
Let's go to a question from Twitter.
Let's go to
Ryan.
Twitter. What are we going to call it? Twitter.
Down.
Tweet down.
Also, they're all TTs.
TTs.
This is from Kayla. Do you think threatening to kidnap Timmy in a ghost net might have made him a bit hesitant to respond to you?
I mean, if I'm him, I'm just happy
Good
I'm not
question.
adopted.
He didn't see the net.
And he didn't see my net.
I don't think he would have been scared if he didn't see the net. If you had a big glowing net with like laser rope, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still developing it. It's still an R&D.
So
But it is a big-ass net that kind of looks like the net that Isabel carries around in Animal Crossing. And when I
Nice.
get a ghost, the thing that we're really fine-tuning in the lab right now, it's not so much the actual capturing, it's the noise that it makes. Because I'm really trying to get it to make a nice funk, funk.
Yeah, you're not getting that yet.
And not yet. So we'll get there. Well, that wraps up this investigation. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Ghost Files Debrief, and make sure you tune
You're
in to
welcome.
the next episode of Ghost Files this Friday when we go to Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
That's right. Wow. And after you do that,
Has anybody else seen that Eddie Izzard sketch with Alcatraz? I think it was her show in San Francisco. It must be San Francisco because Alcatraz is in San Francisco, so that would make sense. But yeah, she's so funny. I love her. I love her very much.
make sure you comment with questions on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or Patreon for a better chance to be on the next episode of Ghost Files Debrief. We'll see you guys next week. Farewell.
Bye. well, that's it. No, don't be clicking on adverts and everything like that. Let's get down to it. Right, so that was that was a debrief. Some very interesting things in there. I like that extra bit of evidence that they put in the cutting room floor bit. I thought that was, for me, for some reason, I don't know, I found that a lot more of a compelling picture than a couple of the other ones they put in there. But the figure especially, I was a bit let down by. The humming in the morgue, I was a bit less convinced by it now. Like, I do wish they'd kind of clarified whether or not they'd looked around a little bit more and kind of seen if they could find a source of some sort of noise. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too much of a party pooper again, but I really enjoyed that episode. I am glad that they did the debriefs like they did. I think it was called Postmortem before when they were on Buzzfeed. It just makes you feel a little bit more involved in the whole process, I think. And they do like an analysis or breakdown of the evidence, and just maybe point out stuff that a lot of people might not have noticed in the initial episode and stuff like that, and give them more chance of people just putting their 2 cents in the comments as well. Yes. Let me know what you feel in the comments below. But thank you very much for watching. Probably go through reacting to the rest of the series because I am really enjoying it. It's something I would watch on my personal time. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.